everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So today I'm back with a very Christmassy speed build. We're literally building a Christmas tree farm here in the world of Chestnut Ridge. I was thinking, I feel like I've done a Christmas tree farm before, but I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I did one in Chestnut Ridge maybe last year, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that wasn't a Christmas tree farm. Maybe that was just like a wintry barn type, I don't know, ranch type build. I'm just not exactly remembering it correctly, but today in any case, we're doing a Christmas tree farm in the world of Chestnut Ridge. I wanted to do something Christmas-like, but something that is not my go-to, because normally whenever I build Christmas-inspired builds or like holiday-inspired builds, I will usually do them in Windenburg, because I just feel like Windenburg is the perfect place for like holidays-inspired, like Christmas vibes type of little houses. I just feel like that is the place to be for me personally, to build houses in that specific style. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, and that is why I chose to build in Chestnut Ridge instead. And as you can probably see, we started off by doing a little barn on a diagonal and then also a regular farmhouse. So this is just a regular family home, but I decided to turn it into a family Christmas tree business potentially. So that's what this is. But I did want to make sure that it still looks good without snow in other seasons as well, so that it's a little bit more versatile and a little bit more usable in your game. The only thing you have to do is just delete all the Christmas trees that are outside, just like up for sale. Obviously I have a bunch of those placed, but if you just go through and delete those, I feel like in all the other seasons, this will just look perfect as like a regular gameplay home as well, like a regular farmhouse. The lot will be a little bit more empty, I guess, like a little bit bare. So maybe you want to go through and maybe place some other things. You could place an area, because we do have a horse stable in the shed as well, or in the barn, I should say. So maybe you want to create like a closed off, like a little enclosure for the horse, or maybe like an area for sheep and goats, stuff like that. It's definitely a possibility. But I just feel like the entire Christmas tree farm is just so cute. Later on, I will also make it snowy, of course. But like I said, I did want to make sure that this looks kind of okay in other seasons without snow as well. So I did make sure to do all my landscaping and then some terrain paint and stuff before I went in and added the snow to it. Or I didn't really add the snow to it. Sometimes I get this question, so I'll quickly just explain how I do that. Actually, what you have to do is you have to get a sim on the lot. Normally, I just build in build mode without a sim on the lot, and then you can just load into the lot in build mode, and then basically you have infinite money, and you also have no seasons, so it's just like the regular default build mode season. But if you do got a sim on the lot here and you have cheats to play around with the weather, that's what I always do. So I make it winter, I make it snow for a little bit, and then I make it sunny again, and then I go into build mode with the sim still living on the lot. And then I'll just continue building. So essentially that's how you do it. It's sometimes a little bit of a process to get through, but I feel like it's fine. It's definitely worth it, because the snow in the game just looks absolutely stunning, and it's just, it adds so much. It's so magical. And I was also having a lot of fun with building or adding Christmassy decorations. We do have some really cute wreaths here that I'm using. I'm using a new base game one that you can unlock if you play the cozy something rewards. I'm not exactly remembering the correct term for that, but it's like that reward system that's in place where you go through little quests in gameplay and then you basically unlock rewards. And those wreaths are a couple of them. I think it's a new collection in the game, so there's a couple more that you can unlock. At this point, I think I have 2 of them, maybe 3. I'm not exactly sure. I'm a little bit behind on the quests that I have to do for the cozy rewards, but I feel like that gameplay is kind of fun. Let me know, are you playing the cozy rewards? I feel like they're really fun this time around. Last time with the Grim Reaper rewards, they were a little glitchy in my opinion. It definitely took me a hot second to get it to work. I feel like that's the case for a lot of us. But this time around, I didn't really have any issues and I could just play straight away. So that was definitely an improvement. And I feel like the quests are very simple. You just have to like cook some things, maybe talk to some Sims about like traditions and like cozy things. So it's really not that difficult this time around, and I feel like that is so much better because the quests with the Grim Reaper rewards were kind of like they took over your gameplay. I was kind of trying to sprinkle them in with my Not So Berry gameplay, which was fun, but it just actually kind of ended up taking over the entire gameplay because there was just kind of a lot to it, which was fun, but it was a little bit too much in my opinion. So I feel like this one's good, and I like the rewards. I will be using the little doormat as well. The little seasonal Christmas, well, it's not only Christmas, it has different seasons and like sort of holidays in the swatches too, but also definitely some cute swatches for Christmas for a little rug. So I thought that was so cute. I'm definitely using that one. I think the TV, I wanted to use that one, but it wasn't unlockable just yet as I was building this. So I didn't end up using that, but I love the frame TV that came with it as well. So yeah, that is just a little bit of a random side note. But here you can see I am messing around with the floor plan and the dormers here on the farmhouse. I actually ended up creating quite a big farmhouse here. The bedrooms aren't that big, but there are quite a lot of them. I think there's 4 bedrooms total, which is really not that crazy or special, but I feel like I thought I was building a small farmhouse, but it actually ended up being pretty spacious with 4 bedrooms, and I turned it into a multi-generation home. So we have a grandparents' bedroom with an ensuite downstairs. Then there is another bedroom downstairs that I turned into a kids' room. And then there is a parents' bedroom upstairs and also a small nursery. I will say the nursery is pretty tiny. So when that kid grows up, they're going to have a pretty small bedroom, but it's definitely doable. I mean, you know, it's playable, it's functional, it's small, it's cozy. So yeah, I felt like 4 bedrooms is pretty good. And I wasn't planning, like I said, on making this big because I thought it was just going to be a small, just like a small little family farmhouse, maybe 3 bedrooms at most. But I thought it was so perfect because now we can pretend that it's like a multi-generation, like family business that is passed down through the generations. So obviously we still have, I mean, at least 1 grandparent. I'm not exactly sure if I was thinking of 2 or 1 grandparent, but you could have either. So they still live here and they used to run the Christmas tree farm, but I feel like they passed it down, like they passed the business down to their child. And they got married and they have their own children now. So there's 2 children total, a kid and an infant is what I decorated their nursery for. So yeah, that's multiple generations. I also added in stuff for a dog. I thought that was only fitting for a cute farmhouse like this. They would have to have a dog. And of course, it's decorated for Christmas on the inside as well. I didn't go super crazy all the way, but it's definitely decorated. I did put a Christmas tree right away. I always have to take the Christmas trees into account immediately. Otherwise, I just don't end up having the space for it, and that is so frustrating. So for this house, I actually went through and placed it before I did anything else, as I was figuring out the floor plan actually, which I did have to cut that footage out of this speed build. I like to keep it in these days. I try to keep it in these days because I know that people have been commenting that they really enjoy the floor plan footage being there because it helps you understand the house a little bit better, which I completely understand. But sometimes I build these houses over on stream for the most part, and then I just bumble around creating a floor plan, and the footage is just, it's too chaotic to make sense of it in a speed build. It is just literally all over the place. So usually I will cut it out. Sometimes I try to not do that anymore as much, but for this one I actually had to because it was crazy. It took me a while. It definitely took me a minute. This one was pretty tough. But we ended up figuring it out, and I really like how the floor plan came together. Of course, at the end of the video, I will give you a tour of the complete build, and you can get a little, a sense of the floor plan a little bit better that way. So that usually helps. But yeah, I'm just adding some details. I really like the color scheme that I ended up using for this house. I think it turned out so pretty with the dark woods and then the warm colored brick. It's just really nice. And then the pop of color for the red barn, I think is just so much fun. I was definitely enjoying that big wreath at the top, on the roof line sort of for the barn. I thought that was so cute. And then the big barn doors, I love it. The only thing is though, I built this barn on a diagonal, and that came back to bite me because I wanted to place a ladder, and I realized, of course, we can't place ladders on diagonals. I did end up placing a ladder, so it worked out, but it's definitely weird. It doesn't really make sense the way I placed it, but I placed it and it's there because I thought it'd be fun for this barn. It's a pretty spacious barn. Like I said, we do have a horse stable that you can kind of see, like that little bump out off to the side is where I placed stuff for a horse. I thought that was really nice because you can't really see it right now, but on the left side for this lot, there is an area that's meant for horses. You can kind of ride around there. It looks like a closed off area for horses to just kind of hang out. And it looks like it is part of this lot. Like, it looks like it belongs to this lot, which was actually perfect because I was definitely imagining it being part of this lot. If you have a horse, you probably want a little bit more space, you know, a little more land for it to run around. So I was kind of pretending that the area, like the horse area next to this lot, is still part of this lot. And it's very easy to use as well in gameplay. You can just kind of ride over there and do some horse riding and whatnot. So I thought that was really cute. But then for the rest of the barn, it's definitely quite spacious. I ended up putting a small bathroom in it, like a half bath. I thought that was helpful because if we have people visiting the farm picking up their Christmas tree, they can just kind of hang out here, maybe pet the horse, maybe just hang out for a little while. There is a small bar. I place it up against the wall, but there's like a bar so you can maybe like order some drinks. We have some hot cocoa for sale outside, you know, that sort of stuff. There's a small coffee stand. So people can pick up their Christmas tree here, but they can also just sort of hang out. So I thought it would be nice to have a bathroom for the guests coming over in the barn. So there is like a makeshift little bathroom in there. And then, like I said, there's a small bar for drinks. And then when you climb the ladder to the second floor, a little lofted area, that's where I placed some nectar making stations, for the lack of a better term. I'm really blanking on what that item is called, but you know, the item that came with Horse Ranch where you can essentially just create your own nectar. That's what I placed upstairs. So maybe when it's not Christmas season, when they're not selling trees, maybe you can come over here for like a nectar making workshop or something like that. Maybe that could be fun. So it's definitely, the farm is always in business, but I feel like their main business is Christmas trees in the winter time. And as you can see, I have actually made it snowy now, and I think it looks so cute. This lot is actually pretty small. It's only I want to say 40 by 30. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's the size of this lot. So it's not that big for a farm like this. I was definitely messing around with how to place the Christmas trees here on the lot and how to make it make sense. We don't have that large of a space for Christmas trees. So, but we're just kind of pretending that a lot of them have already been sold. Of course, I had to tool some Christmas trees in the back of some trucks here. I did that for 2 of them. I really wanted to, as you can see, I'm using like an actual Christmas tree with clutter at the bottom. So I tried to the best of my abilities to sort of hide that with other clutter in the back of the truck. And I feel like it did work out. I really wanted to actually tool like real trees, if that makes sense, but for none of them I couldn't make it work for any of them. None of them wanted to rotate with tool. I tried debug trees, I tried non-debug trees. None of them for some reason wanted to rotate, so there's definitely a possibility that I was doing it wrong. But looking at it, I really like how those Christmas trees look, like the actual little Christmas trees in the back of the truck. I think that looks really, really cute. So I'm kind of happy that it worked out that way. I would have liked it if the game would actually put some snow on them, because I am technically placing those Christmas trees outside in the back of the cars. So I'm not exactly sure why there's no snow visible on them, but you know, I'll forgive the game. It's fine. They probably kind of like shook it off the tree before they loaded it into the truck, something like that. I could definitely see that. But I really enjoyed how it looked in the first truck, so I decided to add another one here to kind of make it look like the farm's in business, and it's definitely busy. People are stopping by to pick up their trees. I placed some signs. I was just kind of scrolling through the debug decorations here and trying to find some signs and like little items to really make this space come to life, and I think it turned out really cute. I was imagining the Home Chef Hustle stand that you can see. I placed that one in front of the Christmas trees. I was just kind of pretending that that's the area where you go to pay for your tree. Usually I think there's like booths for that, but We did have some cute items that could pass for a little booth, but I actually really liked the look of that stand. And I could also place, I did that later on, but I placed some like hot cocoa trays there. So you can just get some hot cocoa there. I thought that would be so, so cute. So yeah, after I was done with all the decorations here, I was definitely trying to go crazy with some string lights as well. And I also placed a lot of decorations on the exterior of the house. Of course, we have all the wreaths and all the garland and stuff like that, and it just looks really nice. I also went in live mode and had a sim go through the decoration box to actually put some lights on the eaves and things. I thought that looked really, really cozy as well. So yeah, I definitely put in some effort to decorate this to the best of my abilities. And then here I placed some string lights across the pathway, I think. I mean, as you can tell, I can't see the pathway because it's snowy. So I literally don't know how my terrain paint looks at the moment. So I placed some string lights, hopefully across the pathway, but we'll have to see. It's a little surprise when the snow melts. Also, I was happy to have an excuse to finally use the seasonal letterbox from Seasons. I never ever use that mailbox, but I think it's so cute and it was definitely perfect. You can very easily just go through and change the swatch of that, of course, when it's no longer Christmas time, so that's not a difficult thing to do at all. It's also free. And as you can maybe tell, this is where I had already put up some decorations. Like I had my sim go through and put up some decorations, some little lights on the eaves. I just think it looks so adorable. And I really, really want to visit this Christmas tree farm in real time. I think that would be so, so cozy. We have a pretty nice front porch here. Like it's pretty spacious. So I ended up placing a couch. I feel like it would be so nice to live in this farmhouse and just make yourself some tea or some coffee and put on your jacket, put on a scarf, and go sit on that couch on the front porch and just hang out with your dog and have your coffee. I just feel like that would be so, so cozy, especially when it's snowy. So that's what I did. We also have a chess table out there for a nice skill building activity kind of thing to do for your Sims. And then we're moving on to the interior. So for the interior for this farmhouse, I definitely embraced the horse ranch vibes. And I was going for a rustic look, but make it renovated and modern. So it's definitely rustic and it definitely looks like it belongs in Chestnut Ridge, but it is more on the renovated modern side of things. At least that's kind of what I'm going for. We definitely have a mix of older and newer furniture going on. So, I mean, there's definitely some pieces here. For example, the living room setup, the couch is the one from Horse Ranch, and that one looks a little bit older, a little bit more used. So maybe that one's older, but they did get a new dining table. I placed a round dining table here at first, but I will be swapping that out for a long rectangular dining table. I felt like that looked a little bit better. Like it made the space flow a little bit more nicely because it definitely, the round table it's very cozy, but I feel like it closes off the space a little bit too much. So I ended up swapping that out later. Of course, I had to go for a nice big fireplace. So that's what we did. I really, it was my dream to use the the new frame TV from the Cozy Rewards. But unfortunately, that one was not unlocked just yet, so I couldn't use it, and so I couldn't place it either. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I really wanted to tool that on the fireplace mantle. I thought that would have looked so good, especially because it comes with a Christmassy swatch with like nice snowy trees for the painting when you're not using the TV. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm not using that one in here, so we're just using a base game TV that I feel like looks pretty good too. And this rug was really nice because I'm using like more icy blue details for this build for the color scheme. You can tell by the curtains, and I just feel like that color looks really nice combined with the black and gray wallpaper that I'm using in here for the most part. It's just very icy and like cool toned, but I definitely warmed it up with darker woods and the brown leather couch and the chair, stuff like that. So I definitely tried to warm that up a little bit, but that rug that I'm using in the living room is from Life and Death. And I feel like the colors were absolutely perfect. I kind of placed it as a joke first because I was like, okay, I really have to stop using this Life and Death rug. I've been using it everywhere. It has the most beautiful swatches and the most beautiful color schemes, but I have to stop using it. And then I placed it down just to see if there was a swatch that would work here. And then I came across this one, the icy blue with the dark blue with the like orangey, like tan color. It was literally perfect. So I was like, okay, sorry, but I'm going to have to use that rug again. I really went out of my way to not use the life and death floorboards in here. And as you can see, I succeeded because I'm using the ones from Horse Ranch, which I think look even better. So I'm really happy that that worked and that I tried that in here. But yeah, I was so tempted to use the life and death floorboards in this house again because they're so pretty and I just can't help myself. I keep using them, they're too good. But yeah, not for this house. So that was a nice change of pace as well. And then as you can see here, I swapped out the dining table for a 6-seater. I'm not exactly sure if that would even be enough chairs. Let me think. If we have one grandparent, 2 parents, a kid and a baby, well, yeah, that works. But even if we have 2 grandparents, it would still work. So that's good. I didn't put in a high chair, unfortunately. I didn't really think of the baby when I was decorating this home, like the main living areas. So unfortunately, I did the baby dirty. I'm sorry. If you actually do want to use this house and you do have a baby, you might want to go through and place some kid stuff that is not just in the nursery. So I feel like that would be kind of helpful, like a high chair, maybe a potty, maybe a play mat for the baby would be useful as well if you have that. So yeah, I didn't actually do that, but you can very easily go through. I feel like this house is pretty spacious. As you can see, I definitely went for an open floor plan, which is where the more modern aspect came in. I was going for fully rustic at first, but then I realized that this floor plan was going to be pretty open. So I was like, okay, it's probably a really old farmhouse, but they have renovated it over time to make it flow together a little bit better and just have it be more open and inviting. So yeah, it's a pretty open floor plan here. The kitchen is pretty small, but I really like how it looks here in this nook. I feel like it definitely looks like that used to be just like a fully closed off tiny kitchen, but they opened up the space and maybe they used some, or maybe they did keep the old cabinets, but they kind of just like renovated it and added in some bar counters. I'm not exactly sure how that would work, but I feel like that's just a nice addition to make this rustic kitchen look a little bit more modern with like the island counters and the open space, if that makes any sense. I just really like it. And I love the placement of the Christmas tree, basically just like in the middle of the house. I think that looks so cozy. And for the screenshots for the interior, I did go through and have my sim decorate and light this Christmas tree. This is not the one from Seasons. This is the one from the free holiday stuff pack that was released years ago. But yeah, so that's not the Seasons one. I really like the Seasons one, but that one's is just a little bit more like put together and a little bit more neat looking. And I was going for a little bit more old, like rustic kind of vibes for the tree here. So that's what I ended up doing here. But I really like that tree. I think, if I'm being honest, I think I prefer this one over the Seasons one for that reason. The Seasons one does come in really pretty swatches and stuff, so that is really fun. But I just love that you can kind of go through and add your own decorations. Now that I'm thinking about it, is that from the holiday pack? Or is this tree from the Seasons expansion pack as well? I'm not exactly sure. You're probably yelling at your screen right now because you probably know. But we have to, whenever I give you a tour of this house, we'll have to go through and see if that tree is from Seasons or if it's from the holiday pack, because now I'm not so sure. But it's really pretty. As you can maybe see, it's decorated now, and I also placed some presents, and they're decorative presents though. I don't think those are the functional ones. Maybe they're the small functional ones from Seasons. I'm sorry, I'm getting all my items mixed up. Forgive me. But yeah, it looks really cozy nonetheless. And then here we have a really nice hallway. It's kind of weird, like shape-wise. It has a lot of diagonal walls, and it's just like a little wonky looking, but I do really like it. I have the space for a really old piano by the staircase, so that's what I ended up doing. I think that looks really, really cool, and I feel like that's definitely an heirloom piece. These days, if you have Life and Death, you can actually make things heirlooms, so I think that's really fun, and that piano would definitely be one. I'm not sure if you can actually set pianos as heirlooms, but I think you can. I feel like you can with basically anything, so I feel like that should be a possibility, but in any case, we can pretend it's an heirloom. And then, yeah, we just have that hallway. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but it is nice that it's there, and then obviously we have the staircase going up. And then this bedroom downstairs is for the grandparents. It could also be for the parents, of course, but I always like to, if I'm doing multi-generation homes, I just like to have a bedroom for the grandparents downstairs so that they don't have to use the stairs all the time. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty considerate, but you could obviously also have the parents in this room down here. It is pretty spacious. Well, actually, it's spacious enough. It's not that big, but I did have the space for a nice double bed and a wardrobe, a couple of nightstands. It's a very cozy room. I love this wallpaper in here. With the bedrooms, I definitely felt like those rooms were the least recently renovated, if that makes any sense. So maybe they recently renovated the living room space and like the kitchen and the dining area, but not so much the bedrooms, which is why I chose a, I guess, older wallpaper for those rooms. I use a lot of cottage living wallpapers. I think for the kids' room downstairs, I actually used a base game wallpaper. But yeah, it ended up looking really cute. Here, this bedroom does have an ensuite. So that's actually why I decided to put the grandparents in here, because I think that tile-wise, the kids' room is maybe a little bit bigger than the grandparents' bedroom, but this room has an ensuite. And actually, I like to give kids the bigger bedrooms because they take up a lot of space. Kids need a lot of toys, and toys take up a lot of space. So that's why I normally give children the larger bedrooms as opposed to like their older siblings maybe, which is kind of weird and in real life maybe doesn't really make sense. But in The Sims, it's just nice because like I said, kids need toys and toys are pretty bulky and just they take up a lot of space in this game. So that's why I went for the larger bedroom here for the kid. And as you can see, they have like an older wallpaper here. I really love this pattern though. I think that looks really cute. And I could make it a little bit more colorful by just placing more colorful items in it. And we have some really cute, like light yellow, cream toned curtains. I really like that color. And I decided to go for this 4-poster bed from Seasons. I never used this bed, but I think it's so pretty. And since I was embracing the Seasons pack quite a bit, I don't know, I felt like it was just, it was appropriate to use that bed and give that a go. I'm not sure why I don't use it more often because it's definitely so pretty, especially for teens rooms. This room kind of holds the middle. I mean, I feel like this child maybe is, like, it's not necessarily an 8-year-old, but more so like a 10-year-old, like there's definitely a difference there. So maybe they're going into their preteen phase. I'm not exactly sure, but there's definitely toys there, but they're also into like maybe like music already a little bit more, into sports maybe a little bit more. So there's definitely like a transition from child going into preteen sort of, I don't know, that's sort of going on in this bedroom, I want to say. That's what I was going for anyway. But yeah, we definitely have some toys here and I placed some really cute decals and posters on the wall. I love this decal from Seasons. The little yellow flowers, I think those are so pretty. They're not necessarily Christmassy seasonal, more so like spring or summer, but it's a nice decal that kind of goes with all seasons, I want to say. So I placed that in there. And then downstairs, we also have a hall bathroom. So the grandparents have an ensuite, but there's also a hall bath. And I turned that into a laundry space. I felt like that was nice to do. I haven't been using laundry at all in my homes lately, so I felt like it was a nice change of pace, and I think it's just very fitting for a family farmhouse like this one to have a cute laundry space. So that's what I ended up doing. I obviously did have to go through and place some hampers in the bedrooms or like wherever I could. So I did do that, but yeah, the laundry hamper situation might be a little bit messy in this house gameplay wise. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, if it is annoying, then you can obviously go through and just delete a couple decorations in the bedrooms and place hampers for each bedroom, maybe place hampers for each bathroom. I feel like that shouldn't be too much of a hassle. But yeah, there is that. And then we're moving on to the second floor. I really like the second floor because as you can see, it is like a little loft kind of situation. The staircase is definitely open to the downstairs like hallway. So it's nothing too fancy, but I do really like this space for an office nook. So I placed a desk here with a lot of little decorations and a computer. It is the only computer in the house, so they have like a nice shared family computer. But I feel like since they're running this farm, this Christmas tree farm, they do have to have a space for a PC to like, do all the stuff like behind the scenes for the farm. I feel like that is very important. So we have a little office here for the Sims to use. And then of course we have a walk-in wardrobe here, of course, for some extra storage. And then off of the landing are 3 rooms. We have the parents' bedroom, the nursery, and then a hall bathroom. I don't think I recorded or left the footage for the bathroom up here in the speed build because we've already done 2 bathrooms, and this one essentially just looks exactly the same as the grandparents' ensuite. So it's nothing too fancy, but I will of course show you when the speed build portion of the video is over. Here we have the parents' room, and I loved this wallpaper with the black paneling at the bottom. I never used this version of this wallpaper, but because we are doing a lot of gray and like black kind of details in this house, I was definitely enjoying this wallpaper, and like the flowery pattern looks so cute. I love how it looks with the dark blue bedding for this horse ranch bed that I'm using. It's a color combination that I wouldn't normally go for, but for some reason, I was definitely feeling it for this bedroom. I think it looks really, really nice. They just have a wardrobe in here, and I was definitely shuffling around the furniture a little bit because I wanted to have another space for the dog to sleep. And I think that these dog beds are kind of annoying in the sense that Sims can't actually step over them. They don't function as a rug. They're like an item that can be in the way if placed incorrectly. So I was trying to be smart about the placement of that and trying to place it in the corner. I do think I ended up shuffling around the stuff a little bit. Yeah, I did. I placed that tall dresser in the corner, and then I moved the dog bed to kind of like the middle of the space by the door, but with enough space around it. I did size it down as well. So I feel like there should be enough space for Sims to walk past it, and then that should all be fine. But yeah, the dog beds, they're so cute, but it's kind of just like with the Christmas trees. You have to take them into account immediately or else they just won't fit, which is kind of silly. I wish your Sims could step over them. Maybe they have updated that at this point, but I'm not sure. I don't actually know that. And then here in the smallest bedroom, we do have a nursery, which is really small. In my brain, it was a little bigger actually, until I went to place down some items in here and I realized, oh, this is really small. For a newborn baby, it's perfect because cribs are tiny, but I decided to go for a newborn because I feel like, or for a infant, because I feel like that is a little bit more versatile and usable, because newborns are newborns for like 2 days or a day, and then that's it. So it's nice to have a nursery for an infant, I want to say. It's really cute. It's nothing special, but I tried to fit in what I could to the best of my abilities. And then after the nursery, we are moving on to the tiny back porch. There's not a whole lot to it because I didn't really have a lot of space left over on the lot to build a huge back porch. So we have a really small one, but I did end up placing another seating area there and also a trash can. So there is that. And then we moved on to the barn, and the barn's actually pretty big. I wasn't sure how to lay this out at first. And then it hit me that I should do like nectar making up on the lofted space, like on the second floor here. And as you can see, the ladder is placed insanely awkward because, you know, it's built on a diagonal, and we can't place ladders or staircases for that matter on diagonals. So that was definitely a little bit annoying, but it did end up working out this way, kind of. I mean, if you don't look at it too closely. Also, I don't know why, but the game sees the ladder as like being outside, which is why there's snow on it. It's covered in snow. I don't know why. It looks annoying, but that's just what it is. We're going to pretend we do not see it. And then here in the barn, I just placed some activities. I did like a woodworking bench. We have a bar, and then of course the nectar making stuff up on the loft or in the lofted area. And then there's this really small, awkward bathroom for the guests to use, or for when you're like doing skill building in the barn. But then that's going to be it for the speed build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the farm in the game. I love how it looks in the snow. It's just so magical. It will look very awkward without snow with all these trees here, but that's okay. Also, something I did off camera was I added these chopped down trees. I know these are literal chairs. Your Sims can sit on these, but I think this looks so cute, as if people came by to cut down their tree and buy them. Like, these are sold Christmas trees. I thought that was such a cute idea. A friend of mine actually suggested that as I was building this on Twitch. So yeah, that was a cute detail I added. But this is the farm essentially. Let's start with the barn over on this side. I love all the lights on the eaves. I just think it's so cute. I also added this coffee stand in the back. You can just hire a vendor for it, but I think that would be so cute to just get some coffee, buy your tree, maybe go see the horse, you know, because we do have a horse stable here in the barn, which I think is nice. You can actually enter the stable from inside the barn or over on this side. So that's really cute. And then there is, of course, a door out back as well. And in the barn here, we just have some horse ranch decorations, some hay, some barrels here as well. We have that bar, a woodworking bench. There's a small bathroom up here. And then on the second floor is where we have the nectar making and some nectar storage as well. So I kept this barn pretty simple, but you can basically just do with this what you want. Maybe you want a home gym or something. That's also a possibility. Then here out front by the house, we have some picnic tables. There is a swing set for kids to play. Of course, out here is where we have the vendor area and some hot cocoa that you can get. And I was imagining this to be the area where you have to go and pay for your tree. Then moving over to the house, I love how festive it looks. All the wreaths are so cute and just all the decorations and the little lights. We have a mailbox and a snowman by the mailbox. On the front porch here, we have some decoration boxes, an area to hang out, a nice couch and a chess table. Then going inside, we basically just have this nice open floor plan for the living room, dining room, and kitchen. And I think that looks so cozy for this house. So there's a small entryway space here where I just placed a coat rack and stuff. Obsessed with this rug. How cute is that? I just love it so much. So much so that I used another swatch of that out front, but then I actually used this same swatch in the kitchen. So I just can't stop using it. We have a nice 6-seater dining table here that is all decked out for Christmas. We have a nice centerpiece, or I mean, sort of anyway. And then there is a space for the dog to sleep as well. Over here, of course, we have the living room by the fireplace. We have some built-in bookcases as well with some nice festive seasonal decorations. I tried to make this area look very lived in with these like games and little clutter items on the coffee table, but still I feel like there's enough routing everywhere, so I definitely tried to keep that in mind as well. Then of course in the back here we have the Christmas tree, and I really want to check to see if this is seasons or not. Okay, yeah, so it is seasons. I have always thought that this tree was from the free holiday pack, but it's not. There's not actually a tree in that pack. Oh, well, you learn something new every day. It's from seasons. Okay, you've probably been yelling at me this whole time. The more you know. I'm sorry, but that's fine though. Back here we have the kitchen. There is a area for the dog food as well, of course. And then just this nice and cluttered kitchen. It's pretty small, but I just really like how it looks. As you can see, I used this same tiny rug in here, and then just a bunch of clutter. Moving along into the hallway. So this is that weird hallway, which as I was doing the floor plan, it looked weird to me, but now it actually kind of makes sense. I don't know. I really like this floor plan. So yeah, we have this hallway back here, and then there is the grandparents' bedroom over here. I'm loving the color scheme. The wallpaper is so pretty. This room is very simple though, and over on this side, they have a nice ensuite with a shower tub combo. Across from the grandparents' room, we have this small laundry / bathroom with just a shower and of course the laundry. And then over here is the kids' room. I love how colorful this is. And the old wallpaper, I don't know, it's just such a vibe in here. And I really love this 4-poster bed. It's adorable. So yeah, we definitely have some decorations, some posters, but still I try to keep it spacious for routing and playing purposes. Then going upstairs, the second floor is pretty small, but I did end up placing 2 bedrooms here. So of course, first we have the landing, which is a lofted kind of situation where I put a home office. So there's a desk here with a computer, a small bookcase, and just some knickknacks. I also placed a playmat for the infant since that didn't fit in the nursery. So I thought that was nice. All the way over here down the hall is where we have the parents' room. Love the sort of mismatched color scheme in here. I think that is really cozy. There's also a spot for the dog to sleep sleep in here, and then just your everyday bedroom items. Next to the parents' room is the tiny nursery. It's really small, but we do have a bed and changing table, of course, and then just some small toys. But this kid is definitely going to need a lofted bed when they get older, because that's a small room. Or you can very easily just get rid of this built-in storage. So you add 2 more tiles to the bedroom. I feel like that's definitely something you could do as well. And then over here is a small bathroom, which is very simple, but I tried to make it festive with this little rug and some colorful towels. So yeah, that is it for this farmhouse. So this Christmas tree farm is up on the gallery. I did build it sideways on the lot. So this is the thumbnail that you're gonna get, which is a little bit annoying because you can't really see what it looks like. The other screenshots are literally of the back of the farmhouse. So it's a little bit of a surprise when you place it down. So I built it sideways, and it's on the Biscuits Bastion lot in the world of Chestnut Ridge. And I built it on a 40 by 30. So if you want to place it in your game, then that's where it goes. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmary Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.